Lordy, lordy, look who's 40. Hit me. I'm 40. Officially middle-aged, and here I am playing Animal People VidCons for the internet. Hi, Mom. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm glad to be here. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with another episode of I Played a Thing, Inherit the Earth, Quest for the Orb. Last time we did some largely fruitless and unnecessary exploration of the puzzle fair, in hopes of finding a lead or two as to the whereabouts of the stolen Orb of Storms. Nothing really came up, but we did get a little money, and I think we're ready to move on. So let's check out the sanctuary where the Orb of Storms is normally stored. When we leave an area, we get this nice little map screen, and the sanctuary is right over here to our east.
Wow! Look at the size of those knockers!
Indeed. Let us hope those inside are responsive to our inquiries.
I don't care as long as they answer our questions.
Sergeant Ock on the ball as always. Also, I see that either the humans left a copy of Young Frankenstein behind when they left the world, or maybe Riff's just a tit man. Anyway, as usual, we'll want to get Ock and Ia's input on the current whereabouts.
I like big gates. They give me a good, secure feeling.
I'll bet I could jump this gate if I really wanted to.
Barrett art. What can I say?
Alright, we might as well head on in. That was easy. Gentlemen?
Be careful, Riff. Overlook nothing.
I'm on it.
We're on the right track. I can feel it.
Well, yes, the scene of the crime probably is the right track. As we wander through the sanctuary, we'll see these rabbit sanctuary keepers around. They don't have proper conversations, but we can talk to them to get one-liners. Not sure where the one we just saw went, but no importance to it.
Where is my cup? Has anyone seen my cup?
We actually can find a cup here on the sanctuary grounds, but I think it's just a red herring because as near as I can tell, there's no way to actually give it to the rabbit.
I'm so late. Let me by, please.
Are you late for a very important date?
Not now. I'm terribly busy.
And right here is that aforementioned cup.
It looks like an ordinary cup. It's locked.
Well, looks like we can't go that way. Yet, at least. And if I recall correctly, all of the doors to the smaller buildings within the sanctuary are locked and can never be accessed, but I'll check just to be thorough.
It's locked. I guess there's nobody home.
Yeah, that's the message we would get for all of them. This is the way we need to go.
Pretty foxy-looking statues.
Thanks for that, Riff.
The temple looks quite beautiful from here.
The temple looks quite boring from here.
Well, I guess you've got glass half full and glass half empty people in the world.
Very interesting architecture.
What do you want?
We seek Elara, matron of the orb.
You have found her. Identify yourselves.
My name is Riff. These are my companions, Ia Lieutenant of the Forest King, and Sergeant Ock of the Boar Guard. We have come to find the Orb of Storms.
For what purpose?
To return it here.
How do I know you're not planning to keep it for yourself?
There's no real consequence to which dialogue choice you take here. You have my word of honor kind of pisses her off because she doesn't think your word is worth anything. If you say you have no personal interest in the orb, she's a little more sympathetic, so I'll go with that.
I have no personal interest in the orb.
Then why do you search for the orb?
I have been falsely accused of the theft, and my friend is being held hostage until the orb is returned.
I see.
So my only motives in locating the orb are to obtain my friend's release and prove my innocence.
I sympathize with your situation. However, you and your friends are outsiders, and as such cannot be allowed to stay.
Wait! I represent your great friend, the Forest King. Does that mean nothing to you?
Our friendship means a great deal. But how do I know you represent him?
Do I not wear the uniform of the Elk Guard?
Anyone can wear a uniform. Bring me a token of authority from the king himself, and you shall have my cooperation in conducting your investigation.
What shall the token be?
The king will know.
But our time is short. We have only until the next new moon to return the orb.
Then I suggest you make haste. Now go. Go! Return when you have the token.
I don't think there's anything else to be accomplished here, but we can look around a bit just to be thorough.
I must say I admire this woman, Elara.
She does seem to know where her towel is.
These clean and shiny walls make me very uncomfortable.
Oh, Ock.
So that's where the orb rested. So this is the mysterious Elara.
Do you have the token of which I spoke?
But Mistress Elara...
I said no. You will not be allowed to explore the sanctuary without a writ of authority, and that's final. I'm taking no more chances. Now go away.
I wonder what she's so worried about. It's not like anyone could steal the orb at this point. That horse is kind of out of the barn. Alright then, I think that's about as much as we can do at the sanctuary for now. Might as well head on back to the map and see if we can hook up with the Forest King and maybe get a hold of that token she talked about. In terms of what the token will be, I hope he does know what we'll mean by that, because I certainly don't.
Ah, home at last. Every time I stand at this hallowed gate, I am in awe of what lies within. Trees, flowers, streams, fish, an abundance of food. What more could anyone ask?
Mud! Of course.
The writ of authority will suffice for me.
This is most foolish. We are the last people the Forest King wants to see. I suggest we continue our search.
You do remember that we were just specifically dispatched to see him, don't you, Ia?
Plants, flowers, sunshine. You know, it scares me a little.
It's kinda hard not to love Ock just a little bit.
A beautiful sight, a lovely scent. It's nice to be able to pause like this.
You're not wrong, Riff, but we've got business to take care of.
A sturdy old tree, but impossible to climb.
Your Majesty, we are most grateful for this audience.
How may I be of service to you?
In our investigation, we sought to explore the sanctuary of the orb. We were, however, stopped by Alara, matron of the sanctuary.
Yeah, she won't let us in unless you say so.
What the Boar Guard means is that she requires a token of authority before she will grant us admittance.
Isn't that what I said?
Alara is wise. There is no one more qualified to guard the orb than she. And of all of us who feel its loss, it is she who feels it most deeply. Here, take this to her. This will convince her of your authority.
A golden apple? That's it?
This apple will speak volumes. Now go. Your quest will be an arduous one, and time is of the essence if war with the boar is to be avoided.
We are in your debt, Your Majesty.
War with the boars? That's the first we've heard of that. Although I suppose that one boar captain from the intro was really pissed off and seemed to take the whole thing kind of personally. If that reflects the general sentiment of the boars with respect to this whole orb thing, then I suppose war does seem perfectly possible. Anyway, that was easy.
Quite an intricate design.
Matter of fact, a lot of the quests in the game are like this, just be told to get thing from someone, go there, get thing, bring it back. That's one of the greater flaws of this as a game, but that may be part of the sort of dumbing down for the kid audience that I talked about in the last episode.
The whole court is very impressive, certainly better dressed than the Fox tribe. The whole court is very impressive, certainly better dressed than the Fox tribe.
Your Majesty, we're sorry to have disturbed you. Good day to you, sire.
You know, yeah, could you kiss a little more ass? I don't think that was quite enough.
How can you stand to live among so much green? Ugh, what a color.
What? Is there something more to be said?
In a dialogue-heavy game like this, there's always more to be said.
I didn't steal the orb. I really didn't.
Then let truth be your sword, and honor be your shield, and you shall have nothing to fear.
I suppose that's a fair point.
Our search has come to a standstill, Your Majesty. I have come to ask your advice.
Very well. I shall give it to you. Get back out there and keep looking, and don't come back until you have news of the orb.
But Your Majesty...
Say no more, Fox. You try my patience. Now begone. I have no more to say to you.
I bet we could still beg for mercy, right?
What? Is there something more to be said?
Yeah, let's grovel a little bit. That never hurts, right?
I ask your mercy, mighty king. I have been wrongly accused of the theft.
I am well aware of your predicament. However, the orb must be found if war with the boar is to be avoided. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if the boar are the ones who stole it.
The boars have stolen nothing. We do not want war.
Perhaps your people do not, but your leaders most certainly do.
That's a lie.
Your Majesty, if we do not succeed, many innocent people will die. Is this justice?
If you cannot find the orb, we will be unable to plant crops and grow food. Is that justice? It will turn tribe against tribe, neighbor against neighbor. There will be war. Is that justice? If the orb falls into the wrong hands, it will be used to blackmail all of us. Is that justice?
But, Your Majesty...
The theft of the orb demands blood. Yours or someone else's.
Well, he's tough but fair.
Good day to you, Your Majesty.
Go in peace, and hurry, my children. Hurry!
Yeah, he's a little bit of a hard-ass, but he seems genuinely sympathetic and wants us to come out of this okay. Can't fault him too much. And the important thing is we got that token of authority, so we're all ready to head back to Alara.
Where is my cup? Has anyone seen my cup?
As a matter of fact, I have. But I can't give it back to you.
I'm so late. Let me by, please.
Just to make sure of that, I'm pretty sure I have tried it in the past, but if I can find that rabbit again, well, I'm not going to go searching.
I've been warned about your kind. Stay away.
That's racist. You're racist, Mr. Rabbit.
The Forest King sends his respects and bids us give you this golden apple as a token of authority. He said that it would have meaning for you.
Indeed it does. This apple is a souvenir of a quest he went on for his king when he was but a young soldier. He was as noble a warrior as he is a king.
Then you will permit us access to the sanctuary so that we may investigate the stolen orb?
You may search to your heart's content. I shall open the gates. Good fortune be with you.
Thank you, mistress.
Excellent. Now we can reach that part of the sanctuary that was previously locked to us. And maybe then our search will be a little more fruitful. You'd think there might be some physical evidence of some sort where the orb was actually stolen from, but no, not in that area. And this gate, you will recall, was locked before, and now it's wide open. This game is usually not too bad about pixel hunting, but there is one item here that we need to acquire that is very difficult to see. Not completely obscured, little more than a couple pixels at least, but it took me a while the first time I played through this to ever spot it. Right here we've got a bucket hidden in the flower patch, and we will be needing that.
It appears to be a water fountain.
And where there's a water fountain, there's water.
Nice, clear water.
After all, what use is a bucket without something in it? And we've got one other stop to make here in the northwest part of the sanctuary. Finally, evidence.
I've never seen berries like this before. I wonder where they came from.
Ah, something that's not normally found in this part of the country, huh? We'll want to get that identified.
These might be a valuable clue.
And what do we have here? A footprint.
Wait!
What?
It's a footprint. Do you recognize it, Ia?
It doesn't look familiar, but tracking was never my strong point. Perhaps we can find someone who can identify it.
We'll have to bring him here. We certainly cannot move the mud.
What should we do?
Well, we don't really know anyone who's a great tracker at this point in the game. We'll just have to leave that alone for now and just take the berries with us, but we'll keep that footprint in mind. That's about all we can do with the sanctuary for right now, so I'm going to go on and head on back to the entrance. Then we'll find a new place on the map to check out. Let's see, we've got a village, a castle, a house, and a cave. How about a little spelunking? Ah, looks to be rat country.
I haven't seen this many rules since I was in school.
Rats? These awful creatures make me want to stampede.
That's racist. Ia, you're racist.
Every place else has guards. The rat guards must be watching from someplace.
Getting a little noise from the street there. Apologies if that's getting picked up by the microphone.
This fellow could be a problem. Sure wish I could play one of those. Interesting little artifact, isn't it? Just your basic cheese.
Oh, I am a little hungry.
Stop! Don't touch that!
Well, while he's watching, I don't think we're going to be able to collect any of this.
So that's what time it is.
So we might as well address the guard here directly.
Good day to you, sir.
Day it is, good it is not.
We are in need of information.
What sort of information?
I am curious about the history of the rat tribe. What can you tell me?
I have no time for a history lesson. You should schedule an appointment with one of our historians.
Your historians?
That's right. We rats are one of the few tribes that can tell you about our history, for we've kept records since time immemorial.
Then you are one of the older races?
That's right. According to legend, we were the first race to be morphed. This may account for our copious record-keeping.
Do you have actual records of contact with the humans?
Ah, records of the humans. Those records are quite vague. They suggest that the humans kept our ancestors in cages while they bestowed the gift.
The gift?
That is what our people call the giving of self-awareness to morphs.
And what happened after you were given this gift?
Details are sketchy. Apparently, our ancestors worked with humans on a regular basis. In fact, they taught us their language and script.
Your ancestors served the humans?
Serve them? Of course not. We are not servants. We help them in their scientific experiments, on some level.
Then the rats and the humans must have been great allies.
Not so. Even though some humans worked with us, most of their race had great prejudice and fear toward us. They would drive us away or kill us if they could. Morphed and unmorphed alike, some had such hatred for us that they would hunt us down and set traps to catch us.
What did your people do?
What we had to do to survive. We segregated ourselves from man and built dwellings under the ground where we would be safe from those that would harm us. We continued that lifestyle even after the humans vanished.
And you believe these legends?
I believe all legends are part fact and part fiction. Which is which, only our ancestors knew for sure.
Giving me a little bit of a Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim flashback there.
And your job is to watch this door?
It is not. I am no mere watchman. There are several of us who take turns watching the door. My main duty, however, is keeping track of our trade balance with other tribes.
What is your main form of exchange?
We deal mostly in information. Whatever skills we have come from our vast storehouse of written knowledge.
How did you get this job?
It is a trade that was passed down from my father and from his father before him.
You've been doing this a long time, then?
As long as I can remember. My father would bring me to this very room, even when I was very young, and teach me about this trade.
Do you enjoy this job?
Enjoy? Enjoy? What kind of question is that? It is my job. It is what I do for the good of my society. My personal enjoyment does not enter into it.
Well, it seems like the rats have a very productive and intellectual society, but it does have its downsides.
Tell us more about your society. Tell us about your people.
For one thing, we like to be left alone.
Really? Why is that?
Because we are usually too busy to make idle chit-chat. Therefore, our contact with other races is usually limited to what is necessary for trading.
But there were several rats at the puzzle tournament. In fact, it was a rat who beat me.
That's true. We seem to have a great skill for puzzle solving. So several of our younger members do enjoy getting out and dealing with other tribes at these events. It's just a phase, however, and usually doesn't last long. They soon return to the solitary lifestyle.
What do you do for fun?
Our pastimes are mostly intellectual. Games, puzzles, anagrams, the like. Physically, we enjoy foot races and hide and seek. Now, if you will excuse me, I must get back to my work.
Well, it would be nice to see their leader, but better to ask forgiveness than permission, so let's just try and walk on in.
It's late. I think we'd better go. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Whatever.
Rude.
Wait! You're not allowed in there!
Okay, I guess we'll have to ask for permission after all.
Good day to you, sir.
Day it is. Good it is not.
We are in need of information.
What sort of information?
You are indeed a most interesting race. We would like an audience with your leader.
An audience with our leader? An audience with our leader? Do you have an appointment?
We do not.
Then an audience is impossible.
Why?
Why? Because he only receives visitors from mid-morning until mid-afternoon every other day during the week, and from noon until dusk on the other two. On the day of Throne, he receives only invited guests from dusk until midnight, and on the day of Death, he receives no visitors whatsoever. Therefore, you will have to wait for your audience.
But, good sir, you do not understand.
Well, we do have a rather lofty elk and a big-ass boar on our side. Let's just see if we can bull on through him.
I wish to see your leader, and I wish to see him now.
I beg your pardon?
I have no time to trifle with rules and bureaucratic red tape. Show us in, or I shall have my friend use you as a battering ram.
Such insolence.
Call it what you will. Just know that our mission is one of the utmost importance, and we will use any means necessary, including force, to accomplish it.
I see. I should tell you that with one blow of this whistle, I will have a company of rat guards here before you are able to cross the room.
Yes, but...
Have you ever seen a squad of rats on the attack?
No, but
We are known as some of the fiercest warriors in the land because we overwhelm our foes by our sheer number.
Well,
Then we gnaw upon our victims until they are helpless from pain and loss of blood.
Surely you...
Then we stake them out in the blazing sun for several days until their wounds become infected and their skin turns to leather.
Perhaps if we...
Then we use that leather to bind our books. In fact, this very book was bound from a particularly belligerent ram who thought he could just barge in. What do you think of that?
I think I'd better try a different tactic.
Inherit the earth. You know, for kids.
I have an idea to distract him. Play along. We'd like to make an appointment.
Very well, then. What is your name again?
My name is Riff of the Fox Tribe.
Riff of the Fox Tribe. And you are...
This is Who Are You of the Boar Tribe. And Yasser I Am of the Elk Tribe.
You are who?
No. Yasser I am.
No, who are you?
That's me.
You? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm the Doorkeeper. Who are you?
Who are you?
I said I'm the Doorkeeper. Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm the Doorkeeper. Who is he?
That's right.
What?
That's my nickname.
What is?
Who?
You? What is your nickname?
No. Who is?
Do you know his name?
Yes, sir, I am.
You are what?
Who?
You? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm the Doorkeeper. Once again, what is your name?
Yes, sir, I am.
You are who?
No, that's him.
Who is him?
That's right.
Who are you?
They're just gonna keep going like that in a loop until we move on, so we'll leave Abbott and Costello there to do their thing and head on into the rat cave.
Who are you?
I'm the Doorkeeper. Who is he?
That's right.
What? What is?
Who?
I may need a disguise.
And here we have the first of the game's mazes. This game is a little too fond of its mazes, including one that is downright unforgivable. Fortunately, the Rat Cave one is not terribly complicated. Still, I am going to want to concentrate on where I'm going, so I'm going to go quiet for now. And what I think I'll do is dub in a little background information on the game in editing, do a little post-commentary, so we'll cut that on in, and for the live commentary, I will see you on the other side. When the Dreamers Guild was ready to do their first game for New World Computing, Talon didn't want to do another fantasy RPG like Fairy Tale Adventure, so he and the other guild members looked toward the Sierra and LucasArts style adventure genre.
I mustn't talk to him. He'll know I shouldn't be here.
While brainstorming for a concept, Joe Pierce, co-founder of the guild, said, "What if the hero was like a rabbit?" For Talon, this immediately brought to mind Watership Down, which he had found very moving as a teenager. As affecting as that novel was for many adults as well as children, he believed the same could be done in the medium of adventure games.
I hope this disguise works.
Further brainstorming led to the idea of a fox protagonist and the tribal units into which they would divide the various animal species and their associated personality traits. The distrust between these tribes would make a natural story hook. Now that Talon and company had a genre and a concept, they would need designs for these characters, and for that they turned to a source at once intuitive and surprising. They got themselves some furries. And that is how several fandom personalities got involved in the creation of Inherit the Earth, but we'll get into that part of the story another time. And here we are.
You can take off that cloak now, young fox.
You sure have a lot of stuff in here.
I think pretty much every object in the room, that's what Riff will have to say about it. How about this rat gentleman himself?
Well? You must have had a long journey. So tell me, how did you manage to get past the Doorkeeper?
My friends and I provided him with a diversion.
Quite clever. But then I could tell you were clever at the puzzle tournament.
Aha, so that's where we have met before.
Yes. I am called Sist, and I was there to witness your defeat at the hands of Scory.
Scory was lucky.
Sometimes all that stands between a winner and a loser is a little bit of luck. Now then, why are you here?
Sist is kind of an unfortunate name, but he does seem surprisingly receptive for us just barging in on him.
My friends and I are investigating the disappearance of the Orb of Storms. We are at a loss as to where to start, and have heard that you know many things. Can you help us?
We have knowledge, but we are not clairvoyant. We must have clues, something to go on. Have you any clues?
I found what might be a clue.
Let me see it then.
The clue, unfortunately, I cannot show you. It is a footprint found outside the scene of the crime. You must come with me to look at it.
That is impossible. I have far too many duties to leave now. However, if you make a cast of the print and bring it to me, I will attempt to identify it.
How do I make such a cast?
Obtain some plaster and pour it into the footprint.
Where do I get the plaster?
My suggestion is to try the ferrets. They always have building materials at their disposal.
Thank you, friend Sist. I will follow your advice and return as soon as possible.
What other clues have you?
This is another case of a quest in this game just amounting to go get this thing, bring this thing back to me. And in fact, you can get the plaster and make the cast before you ever come here and visit Sist for the first time. But I'm going to take the route through the game that gives me the most possible dialogue and not worry about doing things as efficiently as possible. We did find another clue, these berries.
Ah, sour berries.
What, you recognize them?
Indeed I do. These are very rare and grow only in certain places.
Where? You must tell me.
These berries are found at very high altitudes.
And what races live where these berries grow?
Therein lies the rub. There are many races who could have brought these. Only with the footprint will I be able to identify your quarry. Hasten to bring it to me. Then we will be a giant step closer to solving this mystery. I suggest you return to the scene of the crime once again. When you have more information, come back and I will help you.
Thank you, friend Sist.
Sist is going to send us on a lot of fetch quests, but he's a bro. For all he demands of us, he gives back plenty in return. And we are just about done for today, but I would like to point out one more thing before we finish up. I'll just have to backtrack a little ways into the maze first. Won't take too long at all. And that is this room with the sundial. In the floppy version of Inherit the Earth, this is where the copy protection lives. There would be a rat in here that would challenge you to tell him something from the manual, and if you gave him the correct answer, then he would let you go on ahead. In the CD-ROM version, I guess because at the time people weren't too worried about burning copies of CDs, the copy protection is removed completely. Now, I mentioned this being a zero-death adventure game. That's largely true. The one exception might be if you get the copy protection wrong. If you give the rat an incorrect answer, he realizes that you're not supposed to be there and you're not a rat, and he will call in a horde of rats to overwhelm you. It's not depicted graphically, it just cuts to a screen of text saying, the rats rush in from all sides and overwhelm Riff. And it doesn't come right out and say he gets killed, but given what we were told by the Doorkeeper about what the rats do to people who cross them, I don't think that's a very good sign for him. So yeah, the only way you can die in this game might just be fucking up the copy protection on the floppy version. Just a little bit of trivia. Anywho, I think it's about time to call it a day, so I'm going to go back to the entrance to the rat cave off screen, and we'll pick up there next time. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure having you along, and I hope to see you next episode. Until then, take care, and this is signing off. Today's Over the Hill and Far Away has been brought to you by Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Frank Grizzy, Tim J., Lolo de Puzzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Alicia Goranson, Mechasaurus, DG Jono, Doug Russell, August Fortnight, Patrick Bellinger, Rob Lyons, Andy Kurland, Jarogue, Martin Schowenmakers, Mayo the Hedgefox, Hildegard Argelmach, IGV, Jazel, Joseph Hall, Hot Mayo Sandwich, Dan Larson, Electric Keat, McCaffrey Crandall, K. Ivan Rupert, J. Black, Charlie Dunst, welcome back, Kikoskia, welcome, Kobo4231, welcome, and other mysterious scholars of Patreon. As always, thank you all very much for your support, and thank you everyone commenting and subscribing and just plain watching. To all my fellow Yanks, have a happy 4th, and to all international friends of the show, well, I hope it's a happy day for you too. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you real soon.